Okay, first, this is not for children. Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Now I got this thing, I guess, a group or whatever that I apparently in is called Pushback. So I'm gonna play some Mass Effect while I talk about this because everything I'm about to say is gonna be like completely racist. So I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather you not look at me make racist statements. It's not that I'm being a bitch person about it. It's just the fact that I've had some really bad experience with a certain group of people. No, they're not white people. So, no, they're not Asian people. And no, they're not black American people. But when this conversation starts, I'd rather you be looking at something more positive and hearing my negativity than looking at me at my pissed off and angry face, which means I'd be smiling a lot. And no, in all honesty, it really only takes one bad experience to ruin your life. It really does. If I may quote a character from Batman, I think it was the Riddler who said it in one of the Batman reincarnated cartoons. Where he says, all it really takes is for you to have one bad day. And if it wasn't the Riddler, then it was the Clock King, because both of them actually had the same line in both cartoons. So, whichever cartoon it was, that's a true stated fact of life. All it really takes for everybody's life to go from up here to down here is one bad day. So within that, I'm gonna record Mass Effect and talk my shit. Okay? So this is gonna be exceptionally offensive if you are from Africa. I have 3 African friends who taught me this. And they're probably the only 3 Africans who actually like me. And then I've had some people from Trinidad and Tobago in the wheelchair basketball team a few years back that also taught me this. So, in that, it's not so much as me making a racist statement as me making a truth life experience statement. So, if you're very racially sensitive and if you are from the nation of Africa, you probably don't want to watch this video. Okay? So, enjoy Mass Effect while I talk my shit. Anyway, a few years back, like about maybe my 3rd or 4th trip to Canada, I was talking with some people from Trinidad, and I had mistakenly called them Africans, and they did the usual thing that many people who are of Asian descent have done. If you call them from the wrong Asian nation, like if you call a Korean person a Japanese person, and they go, "Oh, fuck you, I'm Korean." Okay, so it's kind of like that. Now these guys from Trinidad and Tobago, they weren't mean to me. They were just clarifying that they were not from Africa. They also clarified shit to me that was told to me since high school, and I never ever really wanted to believe it because
I can hack that message console.
Back when I was in high school, there was a big stank about black people going back to Africa.
I've assembled the passcode to the CAP control center, updating with a nav point.
And back then, in the
out of the air.
early 90s, that was like one of the grand statements that all black people were making. We going back to Africa. We going back to Africa. But what they didn't know and what I knew, and I guess it's because I was of multicultural descent, Africans don't really like black people. Now, I never believed it until I met the wheelchair basketball team from Trinidad and Tobago, and when I spoke to some Jamaicans. Because I always thought that if you were Jamaican, just like the rest of America that is black, you're a descendant from African slaves. Now, if you're Jamaican and you are a descendant of an African slave or a Brazilian slave, I assumed that we all got along.
If you call that living.
However, unfortunately, I learned a hardcore truth in high school when I met some some foreign exchange students from Africa. And in all honesty, they straight told me that I would never survive in Africa. I would never be welcomed in Africa. And Africans, one, don't like half-breeds. Now, mind you, this guy's hair was just as curly as mine, but he was from Africa. And then he said, and he was darker than me. And he said, 2, Africans don't like black people. Now, fast forward to Canada and meeting Jamaicans and the people from Trinidad and Tobago's wheelchair basketball team, kind of find out that this shit is not a stereotypical lie. This shit is actually the fucking truth. So, as I get to know these people from Trinidad, and they're like, yeah, man, the Africans don't like us. They don't like anybody who's not from fucking Africa. Just because you're black doesn't mean Africa's going to like you. So, the reason why I'm making this video is because Pushback sent me some stuff on Africa. And respectfully, I sent them, please don't send me any damn thing else that has to do with Africa, because I only know 3 Africans who actually like me.
We've got targets!
You know, like literally, they are Africans. One I went to high school with, one I worked with at college, while he was in university, and 2 of them were from university that liked me, 2 from the university that just couldn't fucking stand me. And they didn't have a problem telling me that, and the only reason that they were helping me at all was because of my boy Bruce Johnson. But they didn't like black people at all. Now I will leave their names out of it due to the fact that I may have already put their names on blast before in another video. So, I'm talking to these guys, you know, and this happened like in 911 days and stuff. So, you know, I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, how the hell does this work? You know. And they had explained to me that Africans
Is this the source of that interference?
don't really like
it's
black
a meteorite.
The interference is caused by the EM radiation.
Wow, I've never seen those guys line up like that.
Detect later, body.
Maybe I should have parked the car closer. But anyway, long story short, you know, I got to talking to him. And, you know, the kids that were in the digital media lab were straight like, you know, we don't really like black people. We don't like black people. Again, we're only helping you because Bruce Johnson, my video guy.
How do we shut it off?
Perhaps the scan will tell us more, Pathfinder.
My video guy, you know, he was handling things, and you know, they were feeling obligated, I guess, because it is their job to help us make videos in the digital media lab. So the girl and the guy, both of them from Africa, straight told me that they didn't like me, and mostly because I was mixed, that they really did not like me, and that Africa would never accept me, just like I was told in high school.
Nice work.
So, I'm not against Africa, so to speak, but if the nation of Africa don't want nothing to do with me, then the nation of Africa will not get my support either. So, you know, now to my African friends that taught me this, you know, I appreciate you giving me the heads up of my ass should probably never go to Africa.
I suggest we return it to the Nexus for analysis.
So,
we could learn more about the
you know,
scourge.
that being said,
True.
you know,
Disrupting comms, driving
I'm not
wildlife
gonna
into a frenzy.
hate a whole
There's too much
nation
to
for
ignore.
them hating
We
me,
need to study it.
but I don't have to support
Hopefully
their
the
ass
Hadron
either.
scientists won't have any more trouble with our
So,
comms.
as I go through school and all this other stuff, you know, when I was in Canada with the basketball teams, they were like, yeah, man, if you're not African, Africa don't like you. Africa don't want nothing to do with you, and we'd advise you not to go. Now, as for my African friends that did like me, that was at the Digital Media Lab and also at the University of Virginia, you know, kudos to y'all for putting up with my dumb ass. But you know, in the same digital download, you know, there's a proper etiquette for everything. And you can't hate people because their nation doesn't like you because you're not one of them. Alright? And that's cool and everything. You know, and if you want to call me a racist for that, you know, that's fine too, because technically what I said was a completely racist statement, which I also mentioned at the beginning of the video that this would be a completely racist stated video for those who weren't paying attention. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of you weren't paying attention. And if I've hurt anybody's feelings from Africa, I'm sorry. However, my feelings was hurt too when I was told that I would never be welcomed in Africa. You know, and sticking to that, you know, it's cool. I don't have to go to Africa. You know, it's not no sweat off my back since most of my biologic DNA is Native American and black and white. It's just that, you know, I'd rather stay in my own country if I have a choice. Now, here's where things get complicated.
Thinking about a frozen
You know,
moon I was once stranded on almost
when a lot of
lost my
people
good toe.
That looks
tend
like
to tell
cat
you the
tech.
same things, 9 times out of 10, is either false information or disingenuous innuendos about things that they just don't want you to have to deal with, or that they don't want to accept or admit to themselves. You know, no one outwardly wants to admit that they are a racist. If they are a racist and have a lot of black friends, or they're undercover racists and just don't know it, you know, that does happen, believe me. It happens a lot. It happens more often than you think. Because there are many people.
I'm reading a temperature degrees.
Who are
The control
racist
center for
and
cat
don't know
shuttles
it.
should be here.
You know, or they don't realize that they are racist.
Ambush! They
And
expected us!
it happens all the damn time.
Get ready to fight!
You know, the concept is really quite simple. You know, but in a nutshell, you know, I can't blame every African because 7 or so of them can't stand me. But if a whole nation doesn't like me, then I don't need to go to that nation. That's just my personal opinion on that. But learning that it was true, I think that's what really hurt my feelings more than anything else, is learning that, you know, hey, these guys were telling me the truth. Africa doesn't like black people. So, again, I'm making this video because of Pushback, which is a group that I'm apparently in on Facebook, and I don't really recall joining them, but I'm there. Now, I'm not one to really quit groups unless they piss me off. Blow. Anybody else out here trying to die? Anyway, you know.
I detected shuttle control console, Pathfinder.
So the information was real. They just didn't expect us to survive. Let's shut this place down.
Long story short, you know,
Command
without
signals nullified, Pathfinder.
being a complete
Several
douchebag
shuttles
full of
will be
dictates,
grounded.
or
That'll
a
clear the air for
complete
the
nullified
resistance. Let's
racist,
get out of here.
you know, Pushback has sent me things about Africa, and I'm making this video because of my experiences in learning that Africa doesn't really like black people. And I'm not going to dedicate my time or my opinion on a place that could care two shits about me. Now, not everyone in Africa is racist, as I had just said, but at that same breath, you know, if you don't have love for James, don't expect me to have love for you. And this would probably go for China and Japan and them as well. But I haven't met too many racist Asian people toward me. It's probably because they think I'm one of them, which is cool.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined
You
for
know, because
resources.
Native Americans
You can
technically are
extract
Asian.
minerals via your mining interface.
You know, so, I mean, in a nutshell, it's really all about perception, I guess. But I have learned that, you know, lots of people tell us things. It doesn't often make it as true or as bad as it seems. But I had to give some traction to the Africans not liking black people thing. And when I found out that it was true and that it wasn't just black people, it was like Jamaicans,
How many times did your
people
people
from
save the rest
Trinidad,
of the
and
Milky Way species?
I was like, wow, but y'all are all from y'all have the all basically the same accent. And the guys on the wheelchair basketball team said, hell no. They told me straight up, Jamaicans, people from Trinidad, people from Fuji, they are not welcomed in Africa, just like I am not welcomed in Africa. And I was like, it's funny, how the hell did this happen? When most of the time, if you look through history, and here's the mind-blowing fact for you people who have been taught wrong through school, big tribes in Africa sold out the little tribes. So, in case you didn't know, yeah, we were sold by Africans to other people, and we were dominated. And Africa just decided that our ancestors weren't good enough to stay, and that's that.
This area can be mined for resources.
So,
you can
minerals
via your
I don't have a problem with
interface.
Pushback when they give me, like, Black History stuff, alright? And so Pushback, if you're looking at this, and I'm pretty sure you're not, but if you are, don't send me anything else that has anything to do with Africa. And I'm going to take a note out of Whoopi Goldberg's right now. I am not an African American. My ass is black. Alright? There's nothing African about me. I'm not going to go around hunting tigers and dancing a little jig. Hell, I'm Cherokee and I still don't go around dancing the jig and trying to make it rain. That's not what I do. But you know, it's against my better judgment. I don't want to sound like a complete ass or a complete racist. But you know, the facts speak for themselves. If they don't want me or they don't like me because I'm not exactly from Africa, well, they sold out my ancestors. I didn't sell out them. So, in layman's terms, you don't want nothing to do with me. I'm not going to have nothing to do with you. Now, if you guys want to consider me being a racist douchebag or whatever, it's fine by me. But to the people of Pushback, I implore you and I beg you, because I don't want to hear two shits about Africa. Alright? Now again, it's your opinion. If you want to call me a racist, that's fine. You have that right. But I also have the right to my opinion on a country. Its people straight fucking told me we don't like anybody who's not from fucking Africa. So, that being said, I do have at least 3 African friends. I'm probably going to have them after this video. But, you know, it's the principle of the damn thing. You know, I can't make someone like me. And if they choose not to, I can't get mad if they don't like me. You know, there's no law on earth that says you have to like someone. You know, now respect on the other hand, that's a whole nother ballgame. But as far as like forcing somebody to like you,
I detect unforeign technology.
You can't do that.
I can provide more information via your scanner.
You know, you can't make people like you. But you can earn
should be feeding cat information to the resistance.
their respect.
But the connection was dropped.
Why? A technical issue?
Unknown. If you scan additional bugs, I can locate the broken link.
So FYI, again, to Pushback, please, I implore you, don't send me any damn thing else that has to deal with Africa. You know, because there are some things that I just don't want on my page. You know, I don't want it on my page. I don't want to have to deal with it. And it's probably going to piss you all off. And I honestly don't give a damn. But you know, I'm not going to go and support something that doesn't care about me. So, therefore, I'm closing this out by saying, let's keep it real. I don't hate Africa. Africa just doesn't like me. This isn't going to be one of those we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us speeches. You know, because my ancestors probably put Plymouth Rock in its place. Alright? Now, in closing, you know, we should all try to get along because we're all in this together. But when you can't, you have to at least deal with it.
most of
I'm
us.
James Williamson here.
My
This is
Rushan
Chemical Havoc number 2.
special. She's keeping them
Be
honest.
seeing you. Enough said.